So I wanted to do this presentation for some time. By the way, I'm Kerry Allen from Photography Schoolhouse. Sorry, I skipped my whole intro. Kerry Allen, Photography Schoolhouse. Hopefully you've been around for our webinars before and been with our other live productions that we do that we call Ditto Cams. We haven't done a webinar in a little while now, and we have been very busy with the Ditto Cams, but I always like to do webinars because it gives us a chance to talk about items that are not related to the studio, more the business related items, which is what this whole presentation about. Don't just get clients, get the right clients. It's very important part of doing business, more so today than ever before. Now, I got to tell you a little bit of background. I've been in photography business. If you don't know me from the years we've been doing Photography Schoolhouse, I've been a photographer since I was about 14 years old. And I'm a lot older than that now. But I've come through several generations of the photography business. I've seen things and trends come and go. And just talking about the business of photography, I can tell you quite honestly that it's probably the toughest I've ever seen it. Not to scare you away. If you're new to this business, I'm not trying to scare you away, but it is tougher. You got to work harder. You got to work smarter. And you've heard that all before, but it's absolutely true in this case. In the 80s, I've known many photographers who started their studios, and it seemed so much easier then. You opened your doors and people seemed to fall in and buy stuff from you. I had a good example that I've used before. In one community, I had two close personal friends. Both of them were photographers because, you know, us photographers, we tend to hang together. And one of them prided himself on marketing. He was a marketing expert and really worked at it. I mean, genuinely worked at it. I'm not making fun of him. The other was a photographer who didn't really get the marketing thing and didn't really seem to need it. There were just customers out there, and he was doing, and they were both doing well. So it's almost as if, like I jokingly said before, as if you just open your door and customers fell in. We don't even really know where they came from. Well, you can count on this. Those days are gone. You're not going to be seeing them anytime soon. Too many things have happened to this industry to make it tougher. And this is a good thing, and I'm going to get to why it's a good thing in a minute. It's a good thing. Well, it's a good thing because it gets rid of a lot of riffraff. This whole idea that anybody could walk into Best Buy, buy a DSLR camera, and start advertising their services as a photographer, you know, that's been kind of a plague of the industry. Those people are not likely to succeed, but they arrive in astonishing numbers. I saw a post on a forum just 2 or 3 days ago from a girl who wanted advice on off-camera flash, and she says in her comment that, you know, I haven't really had to do any off-camera flash, but now that I'm shooting weddings, I guess I should learn something about it. So this is kind of my point. We need to be better photographers to survive in today's economy. But more than being better photographers, we have to be better marketers. We have to learn how to bring in the right kind of customer, because God knows there's enough of the wrong kind. So a lot of people are complaining. I hear it through Photography Schoolhouse all the time. And they're saying the business is bad. I've known a lot of photographers who have decided to get out of the business. I know photographers that are struggling to pay their bills. You've all seen it. Maybe you've all experienced it. I've been through up and downs in my career, so I know what it's like. But generally, here's some pretty common things. If you're new, you feel like you need to go out and build your business up in a hurry by by being low priced. You think that you're going to build a clientele, and then over time, you're going to build that clientele up and get your prices up. And I can tell you this, that's a really tough road to go, tough to the point of almost impossible. There's just too many things against you. It's a no-win scenario, in my opinion. You can't sell your work at too low a price. And there's a lot of reasons for this. And most of them are psychological. Not psychological for necessarily for you, but for your potential clients. Number one, you're perceived as a low price outlet. Oh, look, I got this 8x10 for just $9.99 from this Bob the photographer. People are less choosy today, I should have titled this. They don't always have the expectation of quality that you would think that they should. There are a lot of people, a huge cross-section of buyers that are just interested in the cheapest thing that they can get. That's it. A lot of this has been facilitated, I think, by these buying organizations like Groupon and whatnot. Groupon, if you remember, a few years ago was on fire. Everything was Groupon. I did a Groupon promotion myself. And I also knew a restaurant who was actually down the street from me who practically put himself out of business on a Groupon offer. Because what's happened is a big cross-section of our society are price shoppers. That's it. There's no customer loyalty. It's not that they're going to go to your restaurant or your photo studio, have an awesome time and come back forever. They won't come back. They don't care. They have no loyalty to you. If the next month another photographer has their Groupon special running, they'll go to that photographer. So you get the wrong kind of people. You're perceived as a low price outlet. People choose a low price, and low quality is okay. It's no big deal as long as it's cheap. So you attract with this kind of marketing and this kind of game plan, you attract really the cheapskates. They have no intention of spending any money. I've had the low end. We've all had the low end walk in the door, and you do the best job you possibly can, and they take next to nothing. You know, I can't live off $50 sales or $100 sales. Not to have the lifestyle that I want at this point in my life. I need much, much larger sales. So attracting cheapskates and hoping that we'll be able to up their game, not our game, up their game, and get them to pay a higher price, if not this time, then the next time and the time after that. Like I said before, that's just a failing strategy. That's not going to work. And I'm probably telling you things that you already know or have figured out for yourself. Low prices equals no income, no money to cover expenses, growth, anything. What you do get is higher volume, and that's not such a good thing, because high volume with no income leads to depression. I've been there. Some of us have. Burnout. You just can't. I've gotten to the point from time to time where just the thought of picking up my camera and doing a photo session just I don't know what the word is. It just gives me a bad feeling. And that's not why I became a photographer or how I hoped my professional career to go. It needed some turning around. I needed to get out of that. And the number one thing that makes me happy is money and sales. When things are going well, and we all feel this, no matter what your line of work or endeavor is, if things are going well and money's coming in and the bills are paid and life is wonderful, you feel good and you look forward to your next session and you can hardly wait until they arrive. And that's the attitude and the feeling that you want to go through life with. So low price, again, is a no-win scenario. Burnout, which I've seen a lot of photographers hit. They just can't take it anymore. They start looking for alternatives. It's no good for anybody. It's no good for the person who's burning out emotionally. It's no good for the customers of that person who's burning out. Wedding photographers burn out and disappear, and then people try and get their work. As a business person, as a business photographer, your number one goal is to stay in business. You stay in business by making a reasonable amount of money and having a good attitude and a good, solid business to go along with that. It gets worse, though. Once a bargain hunter, always a bargain hunter. So your bargain hunting friends tell all their friends about the tremendous cheap prices they can get at Bob's studio. And all you're doing is building your herd, building your clientele with the wrong kind of buyers. That's just spiraling down. Perception of value is an important thing too. Aside from, kind of the cheapskates, there's the whole idea that more so today than ever before is they just don't value the art of photography. I have a friend of the family, and young mother in her 30s, very attractive, nice family, got a kid. Kid, I think, is like 9 or 10 years old. And for the life of her, she can't understand why anybody would pay a professional photographer for family pictures. Not anybody, not even Walmart. She just doesn't get it. She's got her camera phone and she's happy with that. And yeah, the pictures 9 times out of 10 are crap. And she's okay with that. And why, there's a whole other philosophical reason why they're okay with crap. And I don't want to get into that right now because it's kind of off topic. And you can't educate these people. It's not that, I can teach them to appreciate. No, you can't. No amount of debate, no education, no arguing, no discussion, nothing will change their mind. You can put on the best dog and pony show around, show them stunning work, and they'll appreciate that it's stunning work, and they still won't buy. So we don't want to talk to those people because they're not customers. They're not people. I mean, they might be great friends, but you're not going to sell anything to them. I want to build a professional herd of clients. Now, if you think it's derogatory to call them herd, it's a term I picked up from Dan Kennedy, who's a marketing guru. And he uses it. I kind of picked up on it, but it is your clientele. It's your client list. And your client list can be awesome or it can be crap. It's your choice as to what kind of herd you build. So we want to build the right kind, obviously. So you've established yourself as a low-cost brand. Now you can't change. You just nailed yourself into position. McDonald's is known for low cost too. Economy food tastes pretty good. If you're on a budget, you can feed a family pretty cheap at McDonald's. But if they decided to go upscale, if they suddenly wanted to become a fine dining hamburger place, it ain't going to work. They are who they are, and they're not going to change. So once you brand yourself in a low price category, it's just about impossible to go out to leave that and go upscale. We all think, put my prices up and people will deal with it. You're going to find that it's tougher than you like. So don't go there. Right from the get-go, don't go there. If you're already there, I'd consider ways of getting out of there. Number one is rebranding my company. You're a better photographer today than the day you started. If you started as a discount photographer, maybe it's time to change your business name, change your website, change your Facebook, change everything, change your outlook, and rebrand yourself. It's going to be easier to do that, believe me, than it is to try and move your brand upscale. So I kind of got ahead of myself and already talked about these points, but just, it's tougher. People won't flood in through your open door like they used to. Today, to command the top dollar, you have to be worth top dollar. You have to believe it. You have to show it. You have to live it. You have to breathe it. And most of all, you have to deliver it. I'm talking about being the best photographer in your area, in your town, in your city, whatever. Not just a Me Too photographer. The days of the Me Too's, those days are gone. There are only two real segments left to the photography business, in my opinion. The middle of the road is wiped out. It's gone, and it's been gone for some time. This idea of the middle of the road being wiped out, I started talking about that 10 years ago. There is the low-end photographer, that's the burnout depression guy, or there's the high-end photographer, that's the one who does stunning work and charges accordingly. So you get to pick your path. You can be low-end, and if that's the life you want to live, okay, disconnect now and go have at it. Or if you really want to get your work up, become a professional, have a worthwhile career, make a reasonable income, pay the bills, take a vacation, put your kid through college, pay the mortgage and everything else, you've got to be the best that there is. If you're middle of the road, then you're on your way to the low end. If you're middle of the road right now and you think you're on your way up, you're probably not. You're probably on the way down. You just haven't seen the light yet. So then really the game has got to be either get good or get gone. And this is something else I've been saying for quite a number of years. Is your work stunning? I don't mean good, stunning. And by the way, you can't judge. Every experience I've had in my photographic career is every photographer, when they elevate themselves a notch, just a notch, they think that it's the best work they've ever seen, when really it's mediocre to low end. I've seen this at print competitions at PPA, Professional Photographers of America. I've seen it all over the place. I've seen it in friends. I've seen it in myself. When I do something that I think is one of the best things that I've ever done, I think that, man, this is it. This is the best picture ever taken. And it's not. And in fact, compared to some real artists out there, it's pretty mediocre. So you can't judge. You're not in a position to judge your work. And you can't ask a friend, by the way. You can't ask a spouse. You can't ask a friend, a next door neighbor. You can't stop somebody on the street, because everybody out there is a people pleaser and nobody wants to tell you the truth. So you're not going to get any answers other than the answers that support whatever conclusion you've already drawn. The only way you can get a genuine 100% handle on the quality of your work is to enter some sort of professional organization, PPA, WPPI, and submit into contests. The state chapters of the PPA, I highly recommend. They have a monthly competition usually. WPPI has competitions you can enter. Get feedback from other professionals, from peers in the industry, and you'll get a much better snapshot of where you stand. But what I'm talking about is your work has to be stunning. People, if you shoot weddings, your wedding sample albums have to make their jaw drop. It can't be mediocre. It can't be the best work you've ever done. It's got to be amongst the best work done in the industry. So do you live up to these expectations? If you ask yourself, do you do it every day? Do you deliver customer service in line with the high-end expectations? In other words, you're a fabulous artist and you do great work, but you suck at delivery? Call you 27 times wondering where their album is or their prints are? Do you show well? Does your studio have curb appeal? The way when they drive up, I had a photographer friend tell me, he was a good guy, lived in a kind of lower end neighborhood, and his house was mediocre to borderline low end. He didn't have curb appeal. He recognized it himself because he would watch through the windows when he was expecting a customer. He'd see customers pull up, pause, and then drive away. You got to play the game all the way. It's not just having good work. You got to carry through on all the other components of running a high-end business, a boutique studio. You got to have curb appeal. Do you dress for success? Are your samples to die for? Do you run a totally professional business? Do you look professional? Do you act professional? And obviously do high-end professional work. If no, then maybe you're just not ready to be a photographer yet. You can get ready, of course you can, but maybe not today. You know, just because you have a desire to be in business as a photographer, and just because relatives have told you, oh, you take such great pictures, doesn't mean that you're ready to be in business. It means that you should be thinking about being in business and pulling together the rest of your game. It's an opportunity to, if you're good, to build on that and make yourself excellent, to be able to deliver to people beyond expectations. So, okay, you've been through all that. You're good. So now what? You're good to go. But what do I do? Well, here's my favorite line. I got to repeat this to you. You probably all heard it if you saw the movie Wolf of Wall Street, but for some reason it's stuck on my mind. I giggle at it, I think about it, and I see how it applies to myself and people that I know. So this is Jordan Belfort, the lead character of Wolf of Wall Street, addressing his crew, a room full of potential salespeople. So he tells them to listen to him and listen well. Are you behind on your credit card bills? Good. Pick up the phone and start dialing. Is your landlord ready to evict you? Good. Pick up the phone and start dialing. Does your girlfriend think you're a worthless loser? Good. Pick up the phone and start dialing. I want you to deal with your problems by becoming rich. That's always stuck in my mind. I had to go look it up to get the quote on the slide, but the principle is always, he's just telling him. I mean, the movie is set in the 80s, so it was all about picking up the phone and dialing. But the point is, you got to get out there. You got to talk to people. You got to get off your rear end and make things happen. And I think, sadly, technology has taught us to be lazy. The thing that creates success is a thing we almost never want to do, and that's simply talk to people the old-fashioned way, face-to-face. Can't do face-to-face, we can pick up this old ancient device called a telephone, the most powerful marketing tool ever. The voice, not text messaging, not Facebook messaging, not Instagram, not Snapchat, not any of those things, nothing. Those are the shortcuts. Those are the lazy ways. I'm not saying they don't work. They don't work the way I want them to, the way you need them to, you and I need them to. Technology has given us the ability to take the easy road, or the lazy road, really, and call it productive. You will get some business with Facebook. I get business from Facebook. I send a lot of emails. I don't do as much Instagram as I possibly should. So I'm not saying stop doing social marketing. Far from it. Social marketing is something that you should continue to do, but I don't think it should be your main thing. These things do work, but not enough on their own. So what I do is I cold call. Do you remember cold calling? I cold call because nobody else will. It's the thing everybody hates, so they don't do it. They'll do just about anything as long as they don't have to do cold calling. So I'm alone out there. Everybody else is busy Facebooking and social marketing, and I'm out there meeting and greeting and shaking hands and running for president. It's the thing we don't want to do. I'm not by nature a social person. If anything, I'm a little shy in social situations or walking up to strangers. And I've always admired people who can walk into a room and start up a interesting conversation with a total stranger. It's never been my strong suit, so I really have to force myself. And I learned a way of not making it horrible. So we talk about breaking the ice. The ice I had to break was my ice. I was the one who had the problem to overcome. I needed to be able to talk to people. Now, it's funny that I've always been able to talk to a crowd of people. I don't know why this is. Some psychologist has got to tell me. I think this is a recognized thing. There are people like myself who can talk to a group. I can be in front of a class or a room and it's all good. But one to one, I suddenly get shy. I don't know what the heck that is. So, the ice I had to break was my own. I had to get over that. Some of you may not have to do that. Some of you may already be a natural at this. That gives you a head up. So go to somebody, make an introduction. Hi, I'm Bob. If you choose to make it fun, it will be fun. If you choose to dread it, it won't be fun. It'll be some kind of mini hell that you create for yourself. But why is it also fun? Because nothing makes me feel better than making a sale and getting paid. I'll tell you, that's a great feeling. So how do you win? A friend of mine on Photography Schoolhouse, sadly, I don't think he's in the business anymore, but he was an old style marketer. And in the age of technology, and when he was kind of in the groove, Facebook was coming along and LinkedIn and all of them, all the social networks were coming along. He was kind of an old style marketer and used to talk about the way, and this was his expression. He said, every day I get up and run for president. What he meant by that is he goes and he meets people, he shakes their hands, he kisses baby, he goes and runs for president. That was his term, and I've kind of adopted it ever since. You win at photography the same way a president gets elected. In this age of technology, candidates still fly around the country to get their face in front of eyeballs. Why don't candidates for president just stick to television and reach millions of people in one time instead of hopscotching around from town to town, city to city, attending live events? Because there's something about being there in person. It makes the candidate more real to people. It creates a bigger what am I trying to say? Bigger impression. And sorry, that was my cell phone I meant to shut off. Let me do that now. Why do companies hire their top salesmen to fly around the world to talk eyeball to eyeball to clients when they could just, chat? They could conference call. They could video conference call. They got 1,000 technologies they can use for free or for very little, and instead they spend the money on a plane ticket, thousands of dollars, hotels and plane tickets and rental cars and meals just to meet eyeball to eyeball because it's worth something. Now, anything I can do to get in front of eyeballs, and I'm not a particularly attractive person. If you've seen my, it's not that I create a great visual impression, but I need to do this anyways. I don't care. I put that stuff behind me. I don't care. I'm overweight. I'm a big guy. I'm bald. But I can't dwell on those things. Some people, maybe they don't like me. Well, you know what? There's not a lot I can do about that. I am who I am. So the whole point is, any chance I have to get in front of somebody's eyeballs, I want to do it. If I can't do it in a personal sales call kind of environment, maybe a trade show. Maybe there's a trade show I could book into as an exhibitor and still get to meet clients eyeball to eyeball, because it's worth, for every dollar you spend on a trade show, it's going to be worth $10 worth of anything else that you do, Facebook marketing, or even if you don't pay Facebook for marketing, even if you just do it for free, you're still investing your time. And probably your time is a heck of a lot more than if you just paid Facebook for the ad. Get in front of people's eyeballs. And they got to like you. You can't be aloof. You can't be superior. You can't think that it's, they should feel lucky because you're extending the privilege to talk to you. They got to like you. You got to like them. And I'm waiting for the slide to change. Please, computer, don't crash. Okay. Okay, who do you want to cold call? So I know what you're probably thinking. Well, I shoot weddings, so how the heck, I don't know who's getting married. How can I cold call them? Or newborns. I shoot newborns. How the heck do I know who's having a baby? I can't cold call them. This is garbage. What the hell are you talking about? Well, tell you what, you can cold call them, and I can tell you some ways to do it. I developed my own quick start program. I call it my quick start pumper program for getting new business. I don't have to start from scratch. I've been around for a while, but I think every business, we lose customers over time. People move on. They physically move from your local area. They move across the country. They're no longer a customer. They're not coming back to you for a family portrait. You're steadily losing customers, and you steadily have to replace those customers with new ones. And referrals is great. If you can get referrals, oh, wow, great. Sometimes that's not even enough. I think you need to know right from the get-go, if you're a brand new business particularly, you need to know how to get new customers right now. Not because you're ready to throw thousands of dollars at advertising, which will just be a waste, by the way. You need to know how to get new customers whenever you need them. Got a slow time of year? Go get some new customers. An 8-week program is an 8-week program designed to bring in all new customers. I think I read that wrong. On top of my existing client base, not referrals, people who never heard of me before. I want to bring them in. I want them to be my customer. I want them to want to do business with me. And I need to be able to do this at will. I may not do this campaign nonstop. The spring, for most photo studios, the spring is quite often a bad time of year. So maybe just in the spring, I'm going to go out. I'm going to find some new customers. Doesn't mean you should ignore your herd. You should still be doing regular marketing to your herd. This is above and beyond all of that, not instead of. Go out and start bringing in new customers. So I started this program just for myself. It wasn't something I wanted to sell or market. It was something I just wanted to do to solve my own business problems. And it was also based on the idea that people don't usually buy till after the 5th call. I've heard anywhere from the 5th call to the 8th call. I've never done a study, so I'm just citing industry things that I've heard. It's very rare that you get people when you're cold calling them, it's very rare that you're going to get a sale on the 1st call. Rare to impossible. Now, you might be thinking, yeah, well, people call me up for weddings all the time. I meet with them and they book, so that's the 1st call. It's not the same thing because they called you. They already knew who you were or had a referral. They had some reason for being in touch. I'm talking about meeting somebody at the Chamber of Commerce Friday meeting that you've never met before, striking up a conversation and having them become a customer. So what is it that makes somebody decide to buy? What is that decision-making confidence? So they usually make a buying decision when they have the confidence either in the product or the seller based on earlier experience, previous experience. So they've been buying tires from Joe's Tire Shop for 15 years. They're happy with Joe. They're happy with his tires. And the next time they need tires, they're probably going to get them from him. They have confidence in them. Or they're new to the area, but a friend told them to go to Joe's Tires. So they have confidence because a personal friend that they trust gave them a direct word of mouth reference. Bonus. They have the confidence to make the deal. Or when they know the seller and have confidence in their ability to deliver. Or they know the product, I suppose. I could have added that bullet in. I mean, if I was looking for a Black & Decker drill, I guess whether I get it from Joe's Hardware or Bill's Hardware doesn't really matter. I know what a Black & Decker drill is, and I have confidence that it's going to drill a hole for me. So you have confidence in the seller, or you have confidence in the product. Or sometimes you just buy from your friends. Hey, I went to school with Bill. He's a good guy. He was on the football team, and I'm going to buy from my Black & Decker drill from Bill. So, okay, there's a lot of motivations and reasons, but really it boils down to confidence. Confidence is the key. And you don't get confidence on your first sales call. You don't get confidence just because you put out a Facebook ad. People have to have that confidence that they're making the buying decision. Everybody's terrified that they're going to waste their money because there are so many ripoffs in the world. I don't know about you. I'm sick to death of hearing about hackers, and I'm sick to death of getting these phishing emails. I swear, I'm not exaggerating. I must get 20 or 25 phishing emails a day. I don't know why I'm on some list or something, but I get a pile of them, and all these guys are trying to rip me off, and we're all afraid that we're going to get ripped off. That's why we don't buy from anybody unless we have confidence. So when is a client going to buy from you? When they have the confidence to buy from you. So how do I develop customers and get them to the point of having confidence in me? Number one, personal exposure, face-to-face. Same thing as the presidential candidates. Same thing as the high-end business salespeople that fly around the world. Personal exposure, face-to-face if possible, is by far the number one thing. At least, if you can't meet them face-to-face, at least personal chats on the phone, not voice messages, not text messages, with your voice, a conversation. Help them with a problem. That same friend that taught me the line about running for president was also had another thing. He'd go into a company, literally, he'd cold call in person. He'd walk into a auto dealership. He'd go find the manager and say, I'm Joe Blow, the photographer. What problem can I solve for you today? Do you have an employee of the month stuff? I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'll do a free headshot session for your company, an 8x10 of your top salesperson of the month. I'll do this every month, and I won't charge you a penny for it. Not a penny. That was his approach. You can become a respected expert in your field. Answer some questions for people. And this is something that might be easier to do on the internet if you can join forums or LinkedIn, or if people start perceiving you as, geez, this guy knows his freaking stuff. And I've seen samples of his work. This is just astounding. Well, that still counts. That's still worthwhile. Become a respected expert. Blog and associated forums and pages. I think that all contributes. I keep it local. If you're a local photographer, it doesn't make any sense to recruit a customer in Kathmandu. Make sure you're investing your time and efforts wisely. You can also develop associated marketing. Think about who your potential client is. Now, I say here, wealthier clients share similar interests. And that's a key for what's going to be my next point. But before I even get there, let's talk about the idea of who is the client. Is it the wealthy client? Because I'll tell you what I've heard. I've heard a lot of people make the joke saying, well, the reason that people are wealthy is they don't spend their money. Well, okay. I see the logic in that. I've also heard many people tell me that my best customers sometimes are on welfare. Because if I take really good pictures of their kid, they'll find the money somewhere. They don't care where the money comes from, they'll find it. And I get that. I could see some of that. But if you had to generalize and not identify the exception, but identify the rule, the more disposable income your client has, the more likely they're going to spend serious money with you. I'm not talking about $100 order. I'm talking about $1,000 orders or multi-$1,000 orders. And people don't really do that unless they've got significant disposable income. So as a rule, I think we're looking for wealthier clients. So who is your customer? What's the definition of your customer? A customer has to have the ability and the willingness to spend money with you. If they don't have either of that, they have the money, but they're damn well not going to spend it. Okay, that's not a customer. They have the willingness, they want to buy from you. They're just broke. They have no money. Their credit cards are maxed out. They couldn't do it. If they could put it on layaway if they can pay $1 a month for 100 months. So they don't have the ability. They're not a client either. We need one that has the ability, in other words, the disposable income and the willingness to spend it. So we have to find these people, and we got to connect with them, and we got to make them like us and be confident in us. So we're going to meet these people where? We're going to meet them at clubs and organizations, at charities, at the arts, the symphony, the professional theater, churches, chapels. There's all sorts of areas where people of this nature tend to hang out. I thought I had another slide in there. I'll go back. Did I skip one? I guess not. I wrote this thing. You'd think I'd know it by now. So let's go back. I was talking about my Quick Start program that I developed for myself some time ago. So start your own 8-week Quick Start program on reaching your target market, your target customer, the people with disposable income and a willingness to spend it. Develop a routine, a daily schedule to contact new potential clients over the next 8 weeks. This does not mean to stop the social marketing that you're already doing. Doesn't mean any of that. It means this is something above and beyond. You can do social marketing at midnight. I don't care. You can only talk to people usually during business hours. So this is above and beyond anything you're already doing. If you're sending email newsletters to your clientele, you continue to do that. Nothing stops. This is a new project on top of all of that, so you need to carve out the time for it. And remember, even if you have to tone down, if you're spending a lot of time on social marketing, in other words, if you're spending more than 20 minutes a day on Facebook, you want to take some of that time and invest it in your own Quick Start program rather than spending so much time on Facebook. So think about it. Over the next 8 weeks, what if you could put confidence in 50 new potential clients? Or 25, or 10, or 1. You set your own goals. You set a goal, say, I want 10 brand new customers over the next 2 months, or 25, or 50. That's not impossible. In fact, you know what? It's really easy. It takes dedication, takes work. So find some worthwhile clubs, organizations, charities. Phone them up, find out who to talk to, because it changes every year. They're usually a board that gets elected or assigned, or somebody who just gets stuck with the job. Almost all of these organizations have fundraisers. The firefighters ball or whatever it is they're doing to raise funds. Offer them a prize for the next fundraiser. Not a discounted session. I hate this. Oh, I'll give you 10% off. You're wasting your breath. Give them a real prize. Get them in your studio. Get the opportunity to talk to them eyeball to eyeball for their prize they won at the cancer fundraiser. A real prize. The people who support these organizations are usually exactly our target market. They're the higher end of the customer spectrum. They have disposable income, and part of that income goes to charities. So we're going to meet some of the right people by doing this kind of thing. Now, I'm a big fan of Sandy Putsch. Not to take a leaf out of her, if you've ever followed her, she's done a lot with charitable marketing. She talks about it in her seminars. So this is not a fallacy. This is something to do. Affiliate marketing. An in-store display with the right kind of partner, a company, an organization. If they can let you have an in-store display, that would be awesome. Or see if you can work out a referral program with them where they send you customers, you send them customers. My boudoir business, I have a couple of these arrangements with local lingerie shops. We put up signage and pictures in their store. We send them when customers say, oh, I need some lingerie. We say, hey, check out so-and-so. Web link exchanges. You know, we haven't really talked about SEO in this presentation, and we're not going to, but people fall down on this. One of the best ways of getting good SEO, good traction in your website marketing is to get link exchanges with the right kind of companies. So affiliate marketing is just a win-win-win situation. Share a mailing list. What if they have a mailing list? They send out a routine newsletter to their clients. See if you can put a blurb in their newsletter and give them a blurb in your newsletter. But it means meeting them eyeball to eyeball to do this. Don't get lazy. Don't send them an email message. They'll blow it off. I really have never counted, but I swear to God, I must get 200, 300, 400 emails a day. I read 6. I read the ones that are important to me, and believe me, somebody soliciting me for business is not important to me. So phone them up, say, hey, can I drop by tomorrow afternoon after lunch or before lunch or something? That's what you got to do. It's going to be a local store. There's no sense affiliate marketing with somebody in Timbuktu. So get in your car, drive over, take some samples, have a conversation. Target other professionals. Doctors, professors, dentists, chiropractors, all of them. Not to get their customers. It has nothing to do with their customers. We want them. Find the local associations for these people and connect with them. Cover their events. Offer to, connect with chiropractors has an organization in your town, and they have an annual meeting or a monthly meeting, or they're going to have a Christmas party or something like that. Offer to cover their event. Whatever. Just connect with these organizations, and because generally this group of people are on the more affluent side and more likely to spend money. So it's often been said, if it was easy, everybody would do it. That is truer than you think. If you think of any endeavor, any business today is not easy. Not in any area, not photography, not giving tennis lessons, not auto repair. My mechanic, I asked him how it was going. He's one of the great mechanics. I refer him to everybody. I asked him the other day, he was working on my car. I said, so how's it going? He said, oh, the winter sucked. Man, oh man, it was tough. Nobody was getting their car repaired. So every business is tough. And we all have a dream, right? I was very naive when I went into business. I just thought, oh, this is me. I'm meant to be in business for myself. Um, and it's so easy. Every business person I know, they're on easy street. They're making tons of money. Well, it's not easy. And it does take time and it does take hard work and dedication. And if you're not financially sound, when you're ready to go into business, if you're not financially sound to carry yourself for the first couple of years, then stop and rethink your plan. If you don't have the quality of product to compete at the highest level, rethink your plan and get studying. If you're not an entrepreneur by nature, stop and rethink your plan, because I'll tell you, being a business owner, being an entrepreneur is not everybody's cup of tea. It's tougher than you think. And if you've been in business for yourself, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't have the passion for photography, if you just think it's a way to make some quick money, stop and rethink your plan and then get out. It's going to take all of these things, passion and money and resources and a supportive family. And it's going to take every resource you can get your hand on emotionally and financially. So that's how I try and select the right customers. I do social marketing. I'm not dissing that at all. But social marketing doesn't always bring in the right kind of customers. I believe me, I've done some real goofball social market advertising, and I paid the price for it as I brought in a bunch of clients who bought, well, never mind. They didn't buy a lot. I get far more results for much more bang for my dollar for getting out and cold calling and all the things I've been talking about in this presentation. Now, I am putting on a presentation based on my experiences and my own quick start program that I put together. It's get your first 100 or your next 100 new paying clients. An 8-week program on building your business and developing your herd of quality clients that are ready to spend money with you. We're going to have, over a period of 8 weeks, this is not a one-night seminar or a one-day stand. This is an 8-week program that we're putting on. 3 live how-to webinars, 8 weekly live coaching sessions, 3 personal one-on-one consulting sessions, 1 year total access to all the materials and recordings we're going to give you, downloading of marketing materials that you can edit yourself, progress mile markers to see how you're doing and when you're on track and when you need a shove, winning SEO strategies for photographers. We are going to do a social marketing pressure cooker. And we're associated, one of our sponsors is Global Star Website. They're kicking in a free premium photography website and their Quick Start program. By the way, I ripped the name off of them, Quick Start. $198 value. They're giving it for free. Well, not for free. You got to buy the course. So the course is priced at $399. Because you attended tonight's webinar, you can save $100, pay just $297. So you're saving like $102. If you do tonight by midnight Pacific time, 8-week program that starts June. Let me check my calendar. Starts June the 6th. Runs for 8 weeks, all summer. If you have to miss one, no big deal, because you will have a personal login to a site where if you can't attend one of our live webinars associated with the program, you'll see the recording. No big deal. So you get all of that, plus the premium photography website from Global Star Websites, $198 value, all of that, $297. If you want to take advantage of the offer, go to pshnow.com, www.pshnow.com. And that's what I came to tell you, folks. I'm coming in at 9:56 Eastern Time, so I'm 4 minutes left. Not bad timing. So if you have any questions, you guys have been pretty quiet so far. If you have any questions, this is the time. Type them in the chat window. If you're not in the chat window, you get to the chat window at pshtoday.com. Most of you should be on that window already because that was the link we emailed to you. But if you forgot that, pshtoday.com. We'll hang around, take any questions for a little while. If you have any feedback or comments, I'm anxious to hear them. I'd like to know what your thoughts are. Was it good? Did it help you? Was it a waste of your time? That's okay. I'm a big guy. I can take it. I'm going to give you a minute in case somebody's typing, but this is a pretty quiet group. Are you there? Hello, group. Is the chat window working? Okay. Well, I'm going to assume that you don't have any questions. So we are doing a presentation, by the way, next Tuesday, May the, what is next Tuesday? May the 31st. It's the reschedule. If any of you tried to join us on Tuesday night for our Hollywood Glamour Ditto Cam, we had a last minute cancellation from our model. It kind of threw a wrench into the ointment, but we're doing it again next Tuesday, May 21st. May 21st, May 31st. So I hope to see you there. So thanks for joining us tonight. I hope this was of some value to you, got some lessons out of it. And advertising, stop the low-end marketing, stop discounting your product, get good and charge for it. Charge a lot for it. One of the expressions one of my bosses in my early career said, and it's also stuck on my mind my entire life, is when he was calculating what to charge for something, his belief was the price should have a little bit of an ouch to it. It should be just a little bit more than the person was expecting to hear. So with that, I'm going to leave you with that good thought. Everybody have a great night, and we'll see you next time at Photography Schoolhouse. Good night, everyone.